And we are back. We've had 1 hour of play so far or so.
Small blind.
Quickly got to see those winnings there. Looks like Wonka's the big winner and Wheel's the big loser.
So far, but we got a lot of poker left to be played. You can see there is a straddle on the button. That's Dan Ross, who is boss, on the button.
Russell the Wolf Russellson.
Calls with 10-9. That's not his last name.
It might be, though.
Okay, but it's not.
I don't know his last name, so it's Russellson.
It's not his last name,
That was close.
and that's what I'm going to say about that. I'm getting indications from the. Anyway, here we go. King 10. Russell makes.
This flop is all Russellson.
Dan Ross just can't fold ace high just yet for that cheap a
He
bet.
probably could, though.
It's fine.
But you probably could fold, though.
Let's see how Russell sizes this. That's probably going to do it 60.
I far prefer a check from Russell's perspective here.
Oh, well, it looks like he may get value.
Okay, Russell might know something I don't.
Gets value from Dan Ross. Dan Ross way behind here. He needs an ace or a king. There it is. Miracle upon miracles. And Russell might be able to get away from. Oh, and Russell bets.
This bet, I don't know what you're trying to accomplish here.
Me either. Dan just calls because now he doesn't know if he's up against quads and doesn't see any value in raising, which makes sense, and is going to make the heartbreaking showdown.
Pretty sure that bet falls into what we call the game theory disaster category, where we're folding out all the worst hands and getting called by all the better hands.
Yeah, it was limped, right? Dan didn't raise. Dan doesn't have too many pocket sevens or pocket eights in there.
And he's probably
pocket
folding
pairs.
those anyway. It's 3 barrels.
There are 3 small barrels, but probably folding.
4 cards, 2 boards, 2 winners.
Looks like we got a bomb pot coming, which means it's time for some Omaha,
Double board.
which we know a little bit about at least.
And it's double board, so no one knows anything about that. But we're going to do our best.
And the software doesn't know anything about
That's right.
the second board because there's only room for 1 board.
So we're just going to hang in there and analyze it together. Join us in breaking this hand down as best you can. And we will do it the best we can. It'll
Poker
be.
Guys train wreck special coming up.
Any different? Or
I wish there was some more support in the YouTube comments when we say things like this. And always like, yeah, you guys are a train wreck when you do that. It's like, well, I mean, yeah. But it's fun.
Yeah.
I respect the honesty, but also I cry at night.
That's board 1. Here comes board 2. It's 3 deuce ace rainbow on the bottom, ace queen 6, 2 clubs on the top.
So any reasonable ace is a pretty powerful hand at this point.
Agreed.
With 2 ace high boards.
No aces yet to be seen.
regarding your health and safety this time, Nick? Or?
There's an ace for Mustache who's got ace deuce and ace 6.
He's
So
got 2 pair on both boards. That is a monster in double board.
top and bottom. It's a monster until you get a lot of action, and it's a little less of a monster.
He's got a real good shot to win at least 1 board if it ends up heads up.
That's true.
Who did you say, Brian?
I mean, he could be up against, there are definitely hands he's losing to, but not that many. I don't know if anyone's even going to give him action. Dan Ross has got bottom 2 on the bottom board. I don't think he's going to even call. He does
Digital
not.
Dan is given action. He's got a gut shot on the bottom. He's
And
got
clubs.
a queen on and clubs and a queen on the top.
Queen 6 on top, actually.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That king comes, doesn't change anything. That 3 on the other side also, it brings hearts actually for Mustache on the bottom.
That's 75.
Only $75. Will Dan continue? He's got 2 pair on top and clubs. I guess he probably has to. And still a gutter.
Still got the gut shot.
Only 75 into 255. I think he's supposed to call. Looks like he's going to fold though, the way he's moving his head around.
I could understand a fold, too.
Me too. Me too. You may think like sometimes I'm often only winning half the pot. Looks like he is going to call though.
He looks like he's going to call Jonathan.
He called. Let's see if Dan gets there.
In the WSOP.
Yes. And
No.
a jack of hearts on the bottom. I think that's a heart. It's a little hard to see. It's a red jack.
I believe it's a heart.
Anyway, it's going to be a chop.
Mustache will win the bottom. Dan will win the top. Unless somebody folds.
Mustache probably can't bet for value on these boards now, right? Like he's got just an ace on the bottom. And
He's got a flush on the bottom.
Oh, of course he has a flush. I'm sorry. I was looking at the ace deuce.
No, he should definitely bet for value.
Yeah, because he can get called by, I guess, a worse ace on top and then a good ace on the bottom, or even trip 3s on
Yeah.
the bottom.
There's ways to get value in both spots.
Absolutely. And by the way, if you can bluff Dan off half the pot, that's not bad either. Now, he can't because the club came. But that club could have actually won him the other half of the pot sometimes, which he was losing, right?
Yeah.
If Dan had ace-6, it'd be get him off the chop or whatever. So there's value in betting for sure. Dan's going to have to call with clubs, I think.
Oh, he folds.
Wow.
It is only 6 high clubs, and his bottom
Man.
is nothing.
I don't know, though. If we called the turn, we hit our club, we just check fold?
I
It
mean,
seems weird to
yeah.
me.
He knows he's calling for half the pot. He does know that.
That is true. How big a bet was it? It was 250
Yeah.
into a pot of maybe about 250. So maybe that's part of it.
Until the official opening.
I don't know. It's tough. I don't know how to parse this double board stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
the pot was bigger than 250. The pot
the
was
6
more
high
like
6 high
350,
flush
I
in
think.
single board Omaha is rarely good in that spot.
Well,
but,
with any real action.
yeah,
But in double board, you could have half the pot
I know.
easily.
So I just don't know how to value it. It's
Fair enough.
It's difficult.
I agree. Again, if we weren't going to value it very highly, I don't think we should have called the turn.
Yeah. Because the gut shot's not good enough on the bottom to justify.
On a paired board even,
Yeah.
too, yeah. Now, maybe Dan thinks he used the sizing to make a good fold. And maybe, by the way, that was a real value bet there on both. He's like, I've got a good hand in both
Oh, for sure.
places.
I
So,
think it was.
yeah, I don't mean a bluff, but I mean, like, even for the top, he's like, thinks he can get called and win both sides sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, he can a little bit,
A
right?
little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, worked out well for Mustache.
Dan Ross going to bump it up with the ace-8 of diamonds.
Actually, Digital Dan's going to raise with the 8-7 of spades.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, we know.
Call 80.
A Dan raised,
Dan raised.
and another Dan called.
It doesn't matter who of the Dans.
We're all Dans these days.
Yeah. Whenever I see the two Dans together, I refer to them as you people.
Of course.
Digital Dan with the best hand, that middle pair. Pretty reasonable flop to continue on, I think, to protect your equity.
Yeah, it's probably just going to get through.
I would expect so.
Bet
Where's the bet?
125.
I wonder.
Dan Ross really can't call, and Mustache really can't call either. And onward, Grant.
The Digital Dan makes back a little bit of that hashish.
Digital Dan digitally can win that pot.
Insanity.
Yeah, I guess.
Is that not working for you?
That one didn't.
I didn't feel it either. Hey, here's the VPIP.
Digital Dan, not Vipin.
10%.
Not Vipin.
You can see Russell, Sam, Mustache all over 30%.
Do you remember the Digital Dan song from back in the day?
Of course I do. The digital one is a digital man, digital Dan, digital
No, the way
Dan.
I did it was different. It was like you gotta do like a voice.
Okay,
Like the digital one is a digital man, digital Dan, digital Dan.
that's true. That is how you did
See,
it.
it's better.
But you just asked if I remembered the song,
Yeah.
and I was showing you that I remembered it.
You did remember it.
Yeah. Wheel considers the queen 10 and then thinks better of it. Would have been punished at least a little bit by getting raised by Sam.
Say that again.
Fold. Call.
So it'll be full.
Dan Ross calls with the Jack 10 offsuit. That is a little surprising.
That is not typically what you'd expect from a pro.
That is really surprising.
Maybe if he was on the button, it would make sense.
So it says Dan folded 8-7 suited. I believe that must have been a remnant from the last hand because there's no way he's folding 8-7 suited for $20 in the big blind.
A vestige of Soul's past.
Yes.
The last I read.
Easy flop for Sam to continue on.
Well,
Easy win for Sam.
You would assume.
Kate Brown came out and said 6 max to a movie theater.
Yeah, I think that changed.
Fold. Fold.
It's weird. I think of Dan Ross as being tight. But then he flats with Jack 10 in middle position.
I think what I've observed over the poker times that he's played is he's very conservative post flop in the bomb pots, which maybe is where
Yeah.
you're getting that idea, which I think is probably the right way to play the bomb pots.
No, I think he's playing
but I
bomb
think
pots
his
very well.
his pre-flop ranges are typically a bit wider than like the GTO Pro type ranges. I think he's more of a exploit type guy. He's like,
Yeah.
I want to enter a lot of pots with hands that I can at least play a decent amount of the time.
Yeah, and maybe he thinks like having position on Sam, who's going to fire a lot of bets,
Yeah.
is a good move.
Like a much lesser version of DM5, who would just play everything all the time
Yeah.
because of his post flop edge.
Yeah, very different.
Fold.
But you're right. Maybe I'm assigning a Wonka like pre-flop range to him, which just isn't correct.
Yeah.
That's fair.
3 months from now.
Russell just calls on the button with King Jack, and it's going to let Digital Dan in, and Wheel's going to say, You didn't say the magic
His
word.
nits are so good at changing their game.
Magic word in this case being
Wheel.
wheel, and said with that level of enthusiasm.
Yeah. Russell's going to call.
Well, Digital Dan was trapped for an extra $5. It's got to be painful. Digital Dan would have flopped best, but
What a fool.
he's out.
Oh, he's betting 50. I like that. I could even go smaller on this board as Wheel.
Well, he
Russell
got
calls.
called, and there's a second club. Great for Wheel, who should definitely keep betting.
Yeah, this is a keep betting spot for sure.
This has got to be the end. He bets
Ooh,
50 again.
I think I would have liked a bit more.
He's
but
trying to get to the
somehow
river.
Russell calls again. Let's not forget about that.
Well, let's see. I assume Russell's going to try and steal this one, right? Russell cannot just check it back. Has to bet. Oh, he checks it back.
Russell.
Can't call the turn and not bluff the river with King Jack high.
That was a bit ambitious.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. That was probably would have gotten that one through too.
Really good.
Very, very likely.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, I think so.
6-7 got there on the turn. Seems very likely it would have worked.
Mini Golden Doodle. I just got her last Saturday.
This is not the same thing, but it reminds me a little bit of Digital Dan calling the turn with the in the bomb pot and then folding on the to the
Sleeping
riverbed.
at night
You
is
know, it
still a-
feels like a little cognitively
Yeah.
dissonant. But maybe that's unfair, you know. Like sometimes you get a read, you get new data in the middle of the hand, and you got to
Yeah.
change your plan for both those guys, and so it may not be fair for me to say that.
Last Christmas, it's total COVID.
But also, it might be very fair because you know,
We got COVID chickens.
I hear it looks like Brian.
because I determine what's fair.
Yeah, Jonathan Levy. This is Levy World.
Yeah, welcome to Levy World. It's a good place to be.
Russell's turn with the Ace King.
We didn't have dogs.
Fold.
Now you have chickens?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I have chickens.
Sam's going to defend,
All 30.
Dude,
but
there are
he's
a lot of
dominated,
chickens. Our neighbors got them, our other neighbors.
much like certain senators, in certain boardrooms. No longer though.
East Portland, but you know.
What?
It's so hard to get rid of the eggs. I mean,
Certain senators dominated.
35.
Well, he had like
What's so weird about that?
I
Is
don't-
that
I'm-
weird for
I'm
you?
not getting it.
You don't imagine the American political
2 eggs a day, you know, like.
representatives ever want to let off some steam
Like 10 eggs a week. or
in boardrooms?
Dominated?
Yeah. S&M, buddy.
It's not tracking.
Don't shame. Don't kink shame the senators.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Anyway, we're back to paying attention to the hand now. Sam checks again.
Pair of threes.
Can't imagine. Yeah, Russell's gonna bet that one.
What the egg? It's trying to get rid of the eggs.
Sam wins the small pot. Frank continues to not understand senators apparently as sexual beings, and we continue
It
on.
was just a weird out of nowhere joke that didn't really track with me. That's all.
Well,
I mean,
why didn't it track with
between
you?
the three of them.
I guess that's the bigger question, isn't it? I need to look in the mirror on this one.
About what we
That's
get.
true. We did not ask Nick for clarity on the 2 eggs a day, whether that.
What blows me
You know
away
what
is
I'm
that a
saying.
chicken is born with all the eggs it'll ever lay.
Inside it?
What?
Weirding me out when you say
Is
that.
that?
Whoa.
Well, it's the same thing
Is
with
that
like,
You didn't know that?
No.
that's the same thing with
A
human
chick-
women.
A chicken will lay 300 eggs in a year.
No, it is. Like they don't generate additional eggs. They just
Oh,
have
they
a,
just popped them out.
yeah,
Oh.
same
Well,
thing. I mean,
yeah.
a little different.
Conversations are different when Wheel's around.
Yeah,
Is that true?
another good hand for Russell.
Like, I'm pretty darn sure.
No, it is. A chicken.
Dan looked like he just called. Yep. Could 3-bet that hand, but it's fine to call.
There's another
Chicken is
good opportunity to 3-bet.
Chicken's born with all the eggs it'll
Well,
ever
it's
lay.
going to jump right on that opportunity. Makes it looks like 125, reasonable-ish sizing. Usually Wheel clicks it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chickens aren't mad.
You know, personally might even go higher, but 125 is at least fine.
The chicken is not a mammal.
Totally fine.
This is a kind of a crappy spot for the Digital Dan. He's getting a great price, but this is not the type of hand you want to take against these ranges.
Will, what's your favorite
Yeah,
part?
also his opponents aren't that deep. If he was up against someone else who had a similar stack size as him, it's a little bit more tempting, you know.
Because if I say donkey, you'll
As we see, of course, an ace would not be good for Dan, nor would a 7. You'd really need 2 pair, trip 7s, or diamonds. I guess a straight could do it once in
Yeah.
a while.
Maybe they're kind of fun.
Anyway, Digital Dan gets out of the way.
Oh, God.
Here we go, and there's the ace.
Wheel's nightmare. You could check back in position.
Yeah, it's okay, though, to deny a little equity to the kings, queens, and jacks of the world that are out there.
In
Call
one
100.
time, in his lifespan, of all the chickens he had, how many has he recklessly let.
Hey, there's a jack.
That's gonna make it a lot easier for Russell to stick around. Not that he was planning on folding anyway. Ooh, if Wheel bets again, he's definitely in bluff land.
Yeah, now he's trying to. If he bets, he's trying to bluff out a bad ace, I guess. Right?
And he's betting just 100.
Oh,
I don't
know
really
what's going on.
understand that.
He's trying to keep the hearts in.
I
not
don't
charge
know.
the hearts.
You got to bet more if you're gonna do it. Oh, Russell raises.
That's not unreasonable. Top two.
No, you might expect Wheel to have a reasonable ace a lot of the time.
Yeah, he can have ace king for sure. In theory.
Why would you waste a time card, Wheel?
Yeah, that was a really strange decision here. To throw a time card away. Sell those things, man. Don't just throw them away.
Wow.
I mean, but chickens die. Like, you know, no matter, you can be the, you know, no matter what.
This is a very clear fold. You even
They're
block
really
hearts.
dumb.
There are no
Just Wheel.
eternal chickens. That's what you're saying.
Also, Russell hasn't shown a whole lot of inclination to bluff anyway, as we've
Yeah.
seen in this, at least recently in this
Full lifespan,
session.
you know?
Will's not careful. He's going to end up using another time
How
card.
does he get to do the lifespan?
I don't know why this decision is so hard for him.
He really doesn't like to fold. I don't like to fold, but wow.
He let it go that time.
All methods, like. No. I mean, it's really hard to keep a chicken alive. Like,
They get into the cage and stuff. My dad's cage is always
everything-
ripped off.
every
Everything
animal.
likes chicken.
Yeah, every animal.
Just over 14K in the pot. The turn is the 4 of diamonds.
Hey, what is that? Speaking of turn, coming around the mountain? Is
Oh.
that the Nitrogen Sports Poker Train?
I think they did buy a train recently.
If you listen, you can hear its very familiar jingle. And choo-choo. Wait, there's the jingle. Nitro, nitro, nitro. Nitro, nitro, nitro.
Wow, that's the weirdest ad ever. All of a sudden. Anyway, Nitrogen Sports Poker Room is, you know, they let us do ads like this.
They
perhaps
do.
because they don't listen to them.
Free reign, baby. Nitro, nitro, nitro. Nitro, nitro, nitro.
We have returned like the phoenix rising from the ashes.
Works for me.
After the first hand, I thought I was going to be able to sell you some of these, but then you sped up quickly.
Mustache play in the 7-6 suited.
He's going to limp under the gun.
Multiple ones?
This one. I used one pre, but then I used like the full 30 seconds, like every street.
Check.
Do you need more?
No, I still 4.
I'll sell mine.
Sam flops best with the old crapola hand.
Yep. By not raising, Mustache is now behind.
Matter? Like they didn't have. I haven't seen it.
I've run out and had it matter, which is weird because I've only run out
Oh,
once.
not anymore, though, since Sam gets out of the way.
Randy, I think.
Well, there's an open ender for Mustache.
And a
ran
gutter
out-
for
ran
Russell.
out once, and I tried to use it against him.
Yeah.
There could be some real value made here if one of these guys makes a straight.
Like, I ran out, and then the person that was in the hand
Pretty
was
easy
handed
call.
one during the hand.
Not a great spot. It's going to be a...
Mustache made a flush. We didn't realize that he turned a flush draw.
Oh, my gosh.
Open ender and a flush draw.
What a turn card.
Timmer hasn't given you enough in this game.
Yeah, I was just about to say they're chopping now, but they're not chopping.
Mega cooler, and his opponent gives him a time card.
Not even close. This feels like a pretty easy fold with Mustache bets 3 times, right?
Was
Yeah.
it in that hand?
We have bottom pair, no kicker.
You were tanking with ace king?
What draw didn't come in?
A little time.
The straight draw has a 5 or is a straight
Yeah.
and doesn't need to bluff.
That hand.
Yeah,
Might
it's-
bluff anyway, I guess, but
It's a necessary fold.
Got to watch
Yeah.
all my
And we have
chips
seen
get
it done,
passed
so
around the table.
the
Good
world
job.
is in order.
That was that big.
it's like
That was the
Hollow
session
Earth.
that started with your jack.
That was
Yeah, it's like Hollow Earth.
Godzilla versus
you know,
Kong, man.
You know, I'm so glad you said that. Because I was thinking,
Yeah.
can I talk about Hollow Earth?
that was the worst.
And Jonathan was giving me vibes like I couldn't, but then I realized that was just me projecting.
Exactly.
And really, he's of the same mind that Hollow Earth is a real theory from real life.
It actually is a real theory from real life, I think.
Really?
I typed it in for some reason in the internet the other day as for something about that movie, and like it came up as like a book that someone has actually written, and I think it may be a real theory, but for a few.
I mean, it
for a few,
wouldn't shock me based on the other theories that are out
Right.
there.
I don't think a lot of people have that theory. I don't have that theory.
Love muscle. Love it.
I certainly don't believe the theory that's espoused in the movie, which is
The kaiju live in the Hollow Earth.
also there's sunlight everywhere, even though it's in the middle of the earth. Where would the sunlight be coming from, guys? Just asking a question.
It is hard.
Anyway, deuce 3 king rainbow. Dan Ross and his sixes
We talk about the important things on this show.
remain best, and Dan is going to protect.
It's not a brand thing.
It's the color.
Yeah, it's whether or not it's aged.
Do you like them with color or without color?
So it looks like he's trying to pretend he's like part of the snow military.
It looks like unicorn barf to me.
Is it a bump
Looks like he's just trying to blend in with the Alaskan hinterland.
Why'd you say hinterland like that?
Because I wasn't sure if that was the correct use of the term.
I'm not sure if it is
Yeah.
either.
So I decided to say it as if I had a little more something going on to it.
I see.
Protect me a little bit.
Like, so you could be considered being sarcastic by those who are in the know
I'm-
if you were wrong.
Exactly.
Double board.
Takes it all.
All right, we got a bomb pot. Double board Omaha, as always.
That's a good move, Lovey. That's a good move.
Yeah.
One winner. Not a split. Yeah.
It's not always my move, but it is a good little one to have in your back pocket.
No wild cards.
Because it sounds like I know I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't know. All right, 4 cards, 2 boards.
winner.
It's crazy time.
I wonder if they will remember
Sure.
this during commentary.
Board number 1, Jack, Queen, 7, 2 diamonds.
Oh, we're announcing boards
Yep.
now.
8-3-3. I've always been announcing boards.
You have been this whole time?
Ever since we started doing double board Omaha like months and months ago, I've always announced
Really?
the boards. Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Okay, check. Go look.
I don't want to.
I believe that. Mustache has 4 cards, and here we go. Here they come. Well, Wonka's got a flush draw and top pair on the top.
Nobody bets, it looks like. Stewie's got aces. Sam's got kings.
Stewie also has the nut flush draw on top. On the bottom, does anyone have clubs? Dan Ross has clubs and an 8.
Russell's got bad clubs.
Oh, Dan Ross already has a full house, actually. Diamonds come in on top. So Stewie Younger with the nut flush on top. He's got that.
He's got threes full of aces on the bottom.
Oh, he's got the best hand, I think, in both spots.
Yeah. And no money's gone in yet. Sam might have to pay this off with kings.
No, Sam has quads on the bottom.
Oh.
He's got quad 3s. So
Okay.
Stewie's going to not.
He's not going to scoop.
Will Stewie raise? Because if Stewie raised, Sam can actually re-raise.
Yeah, because
with
he's
quad.
guaranteed to have half the
He
pot.
should re-raise if he gets raised. Will Stewie raise with his hand is the question. He's probably not going to. The paired board on top,
Yeah.
pocket queens, a 3, or pocket 8s are all beating him.
Didn't catch that quads.
No, there's a lot to keep in mind. There's no question about it.
Number 3.
Yeah, so Stewie just called. It was only $50.
Sam had a small chance to win both boards because he has kings on top.
Yeah. When he bets 50 and just gets called, actually, he's got to believe
Yeah.
there's a real shot.
Yeah, quads and straight flush.
Almost no money went in, though, and there was a lot of opportunity for money to go in that pot. Sam flopped very well,
I
turned
like to wait
quads.
till
Yeah.
I'm not confident whether my hand
There were
is good or not.
nut flush draws and other big draws along the way.
Stewie had a really good hand on both boards.
Yes. He absolutely, he lost $50
Yeah.
post-flop. That's amazing.
Well, he didn't lose anything. He won half the pot.
Did not.
He did not lose anything.
Yeah.
See, it's a confusing situation.
This is why there's 2 of us.
It's why we go to the hinterlands.
Yeah, because
You
we
had
need
a
to
10,
find
I was like,
ourselves
"Ten of
Yeah.
diamonds?"
in the hinterlands
And then
of
of-
Alaska.
Of nature.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a button straddle. You can't see it, but it is so.
It's like that movie The Gray, you know?
It's like Wind River.
It's
The
like
hinterlands.
No, that's Wyoming. They don't have hinterlands.
I definitely have hinterlands. You crazy. Sam with jacks opens. And there's a defend from Dan Ross. Very reasonable defend.
Really good movie. Wind River.
Great movie.
The Gray's pretty good too.
Yep.
Not as good as Wind River. Pretty good.
Sam doesn't love it, but doesn't hate it. This is a pretty good flop for jacks. Immediately goes into check call mode. Dan Ross with 2 back doors. Not surprising he's just going to take a shot here. I assume he'll continue on any improvement. There's no way Sam's folding, especially for 35.
I was wondering.
The Rocks is the name of it?
No, like
He owns the
guy
rock.
with
Owns
rock.
it. Dwayne
Kind of
Rock
face
style.
up Sam's hand, but that's okay.
Well, that is a card that Dan can check back on very comfortably.
He's not beating anything.
He
That
is
Sam would check
not.
call. I mean, 7-8 got there.
I think he was really looking for a a 3, a 7, or a heart, but he decides to bet again. Now
It's
he
a
is
big
clearly
bet.
bluffing.
He's going for overpot here. Jacks are not in a happy spot.
And there's, of course, the implied river bet that Sam's got to be thinking about, too.
I
So
think
it isn't just
Dan.
200 bucks.
I think Dan did a great job here, recognizing that Sam's most likely holdings were pocket pairs between the 6 and the king,
Yep.
and putting maximum pressure on those hands.
Also, and to be clear, Dan being on the button there has so many strong hands here. He's got a lot of 2-pair hands. He has 7, 8 for the straight.
Yeah.
He's got a good king. Not a great king, maybe, but at least, no, he actually has everything but ace king there really comfortably. Interesting hand. Nicely played by Dan Ross, who is undercover boss.
Is he?
He's undercover.
How? Then you're not supposed to tell me.
Undercover Ross is what he is. Actually.
So he is a Ross, but he's pretending not to be a Ross.
No, he's Ross and he's undercover. He's Undercover Ross. That's the name of his TV show.
Oh, okay. So like he's a police person.
No, he's not a police person. He's
FBI.
He's in charge of people.
He's the president. He's the undercover president.
So Russell completed with Queen 6 off in the big blind and is going to get punished.
Feel the pain. 115. Dan could raise.
I like a raise here. I mean, a call can't be bad.
A call is fine, especially because it's suited. You have so many more opportunities to feel comfortable post flop.
There's the call. Totally reasonable. Mustache.
Ooh, mustache gonna come along with a 7-6. He does have the button.
Tasty little 7-6 suited there. And Russell has to get out. Not too many queens left in the deck, i.e. 1. There's 2 diamonds.
And an open ender for mustache.
Well, Stewie Younger got nothing going on. Probably won't continue on this board either.
Why would you say that about him? I think he's got a lot going on.
Well,
He's a nice guy.
have you really talked to him? Dan Ross loving this board. Overs, ace high, and the nut flush draw. Pretty strong. Willing to mix it up with this
He
hand. I
feels
gotta
like
believe.
he went to the bathroom and when he got back, his dinner was there. You know that
Oh,
feeling?
I love that.
Yeah, that's what it feels like
It's
when
amazing.
you
And
flop the nut flush draw.
And you haven't been like gone for a long time. You haven't
Yeah.
had like a bathroom issue or
and,
anything. So
and
it's
you're
like
like
warm
and you're like
hot.
hungry and you're excited.
Yeah.
It's good.
210 and Mustache just cannot really even consider folding yet. His hand is just
He could raise.
he could raise, but folding feels
Yeah.
like absurd. And being in position, calling is I think fine. That's a miss though.
Easy to judge.
I expect to continue from Dan Ross.
And
Mustache has some
checks.
1-pair hands. Mustache should absolutely take a stab here.
I agree with
He's got
7
7
high.
high. He's gonna see a free card though and miss.
Well, the good news for Mustache is if Dan checks, he can tell a very believable story by betting now. He might have played an 8 just like this.
Dan might be inclined to put Mustache on Jack 10, maybe less so than 7 or more so than 7-6, but that could be a problem if you take a shot.
Still, even so, I think you have to take the shot here. We should have taken the shot on the turn, but at least we can have an 8.
He probably gets a senior citizen discount.
Let's see how much he sizes it up here. Dan's already not liking it. Look at him. But not totally believing him. You can tell. Is it 350?
Yeah, you gave him a skeptical look there. You can tell even with the mask.
Yeah, he's like really. Dan's problem, of course, is he blocks diamonds, which he doesn't want to do, but he doesn't block any of the straight draws. And now he's got to think. So you called pre-flop with an 8, okay, and you called the flop bet with an 8. Those are reasonable.
Yeah,
and
you
then you check the
absolutely-
turn.
Yeah, you could have 7-8 suited.
He really can have an 8 here.
Ace-8 suited.
But that's it, right? Can he have anything else but an 8 and bet here? I guess he could have like a slow played full house.
Yeah,
Those are the only 2 things. Like he's not doing this with ace 9, right?
probably not.
Seems pretty unlikely. Although ace 9 is almost always good.
He might do it with ace-9. It's possible.
But that's it then, right?
You
That's
can put
the
him on
bottom of it.
all 4 combos of Jack 10 suited. Maybe you can give him all 4 combos of 7-6 suited.
Maybe you give him some combos of Jack 10 off.
Maybe.
Dan clearly taking his time here. Really skeptical. Dan Ross's instinct's strong.
Yeah. If he had the Jack of diamonds in his hand, I think he would have to auto fold.
Look how
Have to.
uncomfortable Mustache looks right now.
He does. He does. He
And
look-
there's the call. I don't think Dan noticed that. Dan wasn't looking at him at that point, but great call by Dan.
It was a great call. He did look quite uncomfortable. I
He really
agree.
did. Looked like he just had that look where it's like, I'm getting called and I know.
I know
And
that
like,
feeling.
Suck, and
He
I just have
was-
to wait for this guy to frickin' call me.
The I really wish I didn't take this shot look.
Yeah. I like that you took the shot. I wish you had taken it on the turn too, but it wouldn't have worked on the turn.
Nope.
None of this you may have lost even more money. That's the good news.
He's gotten wiser in his old age.
But really great call.
Yeah.
Like sexy call, you know?
Slow down, Levy.
Sexy.
Slow down. You've got enough restraining orders against you already.
Yeah. What's one more? That's the way I think of it.
That's
like,
a good-
put
that's a
throw it
good
on the
way.
pile.
That's a good way to
Changes
think about it.
nothing. My quality of my life cannot be diminished anymore.
You're
by
you're on
the
the,
penal
flat
system.
You're on the flat part of the S curve with the restraining orders.
Exactly. Exactly. Sam with jacks bumps it to 100. I like this sizing a lot.
Get old and wise.
Punish the limpas.
What's that?
Russell says, yes, I will be punished, sir.
It's really
I have
like
King
this
10 off.
audio.
I check in the dark.
Shut up.
No, it's not really good. It's
Bad flop for jacks.
get old.
Not terrible, though. Russell limp called. I mean, he has some aces, but he has a lot of other things.
It's a bad flop. If you're gonna say it's good or bad, you say bad.
It's only one overcard.
It's the ace though.
Oh, to get
It is the ace. Russell bets, but Sam's never folding on this turn.
Nope, he's gonna have to take 2 shots if he wants a chance to win the pot.
Especially when it's only 60 on the turn. That's like,
We've seen this historically with Russell. He likes to bet small, whether he has it or
I
not.
didn't
Yeah.
say it was a joke.
That was too poignant.
there's another 9. Sam can't like that either. That's a card you could size up. Is that 150?
So it's still pretty small, but not tiny.
What can you beat if you're Sam? You can beat weird draws that missed. You block Jack 10. You can beat spades, of course. You don't
Just
have any of
random
those.
bluffs.
Rando bluffs is what you can beat.
Sam
Sam
doesn't
says-
believe, and he's right.
Second straight hand, we had a nice bluff catch. This is a little different than Dan Ross's, but still, good job.
Don't be bluffing this table.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's our table.
we don't allow for that. No bluffs, no check and raise, no bluffs.
How long they can live.
Is that no bluffs actually one of the things that was also not allowed in old timey poker?
I think you were always allowed to bluff.
Okay.
Because otherwise you could just turn your hand over.
Right.
I guess that's not true, but it wouldn't be that different.
It would not be very fun if you couldn't bluff.
You'd be playing best hand. That
Yeah.
would be the name of the game, and that is not a fun game. No one wants to play that game.
Some players still play that game, and they get very mad when other players don't play best hand.
I guess that's true. Straddle on the button. But, they're playing the wrong game.
Yep.
They think they're playing best hand, but they're actually playing poker. And
They're
that's
all
their problem.
losing money. All the people playing
true.
best hand.
It's true.
Yeah.
If you listen to this and you play best hand, change. or continue to lose, actually. That's fine, too. You're
Oh, hey,
allowed- you don't have to
Wonka's
change.
Wonka's actually here,
Wonka has yet to play a hand until just now.
and he's limping.
It's like 40 minutes in.
Why?
I don't know. That doesn't make any sense
I've
to
never
me.
seen such a thing.
He wants to play pots against Russell?
I don't know.
There's a check.
Oh, that's what you get. That's what you get.
Pretty rough. Now, the good thing for Wonka is he actually would assume that there's no value to be had by betting. Like basically 0.
Yeah.
You
I
can
mean, there's
block a
club-
few gut shots.
Club draws, but the flop didn't get bet, so those are not very
Yeah,
likely.
you have a club in your hand too. It's a pretty good spot. And Wonka gonna have to check again. There it is. See how Russell sizes this. This is gonna be for value. Looks like 100.
125 into 115.
Whoa.
Now you could convince yourself as Wonka that he just got his bluff called, so he's gonna size it up this time to try to get his bluff through.
Yeah. Or that he's just on tilt a little bit, so he's like trying to win every pot. We see guys do that sometimes. Other guys respond differently when their bluffs are called. They just shut down. They just stop. They stop
Yeah.
doing anything and get really conservative. I think that bluff last hand may get him paid off this time.
He's got the digital Dan, by the way, the 4 deuce.
He sure does.
In honor of Dan.
I mean,
Russell
Wonka engineered this one by limping.
Four in
I
the
think he
deuce.
wanted to play pots against
Yeah.
Russell, and well, you did.
4 in the deuce.
He became what he beheld.
Exactly. No, you never want that.
You don't want to become what you behold.
You try to become what you
Spoke.
bespoke. Yeah.
Sure, why not?
What would it be? What's the opposite of beheld?
You besmirch what you befall.
Be drop?
I don't think,
Become what I
think we have
bedrop.
I don't think bedrop is a word.
No. It could be a word. And maybe in old-timey England it was.
I'm going to start saying besmirch more.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
How dare you besmirch me?
It has smirch in there, which is really quality wordage.
I like smirch.
Yeah. It sounds like the nickname of like the 4th guy in the entourage. Hey, it's Smirch.
Yeah. Smirch always brings the weed.
Exactly. Russell continues his limping ways. Digital Dan. checking, but soon to break out in a song. It's a guarantee.
Gut shots around everywhere.
But no one takes a shot. There's the nope. I thought he was betting, and no one takes a shot again,
That smirches my grits.
and no one has anything. Well, at least the pot isn't really worth winning. It's only $55. You know, a nice meal out with a guest, depending on where you eat.
I mean, by yourself, that's almost always a really nice meal.
That's like a stay in a Motel 6.
Really exciting.
Hell
night.
yeah. And they might have complimentary breakfast.
It wouldn't be good though.
No, but there's like bread.
Yeah, the bread.
It's
And there's-
old.
There's pastries, and there's like little Frosted Flakes boxes.
Yeah, yeah. Probably some bad coffee.
I mean, you know, you could eat it.
You could have it.
It'll be fine.
I'll get the round to you.
Yeah.
Anybody else need?
Drinks?
Wonka continues to look cool in that jacket.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Maybe it's the hair. I don't know, but
Let's go.
he looks like
Yeah, I'll take the same thing.
for the first time ever. I kind of want to be friends with him.
Send him a friend request.
No, it's too much work. I don't want to be friends with him that badly. So Stu Younger, see, he completes from the big blind, but he's got a little
Anybody else want a drink?
heat-seeking missile in the big
Oh.
blind.
Make you want a drink?
Missile. The ace queen.
Russell, you want a drink?
Yeah. He's up against some crappy hands that are dominating each other. And there's the queen.
But also a king, which is not the super fun times.
But he's also got a gutter, and he's certainly not folding anytime soon. Checks through, but that's the
Another
worst,
bad card.
pretty much the worst possible card in the deck. I guess an ace is pretty bad, too. Ace of hearts would be pretty bad, but
Sam's going to take a shot with the nothing hand.
you got two people behind you as Stewie Younger. But he's got the gutter as a sort of a backup plan.
Oh, you've never had a super high show?
No. Stewart's probably got me beat there.
Oh, what a great
Well,
card.
that'll make things a little easier. I don't think Sam's going to take a shot on this card.
I mean,
Happily try them all.
the only things you can beat now are the draws that miss, which is really a 10 that chose not to bet.
You mean fold out?
Yeah,
One of the things
that's
you
of course is what I mean. Sam is going to take a shot.
Bet 135.
Obviously, Stewie's not folding. The question is if he's going to
Yeah.
raise. You could decide not to on this board. King, queen does loom large.
It does, but Sam didn't raise. He was in the small blind, in fairness, but he just completed. He could have king, queen. That's really all. I guess you're losing to pocket jacks, king, queen, and king, king. Those are not too
You have to
scary.
Also ask yourself if you're even going to get called by jacks full.
Well, that's the real question, right? If you can't get called by jacks full, there's no point in raising.
And it looks like a min raise.
He's going to
Got
go.
that?
Got that beat.
You got that? You sure?
I do.
Okay, I'll fold then.
And that's going to do it. We'll see you guys back next week for the continuation of this session of Poker Time.
Poker time.
I will besmirch all of you at that time.
I'm a
That's
call,
what you do. You're especially good at besmirching.
I've become what I beheld.
You've been dropped what you bespoke.
Besmirch.
I don't want to do it yet.
You
Besmirch.
you'd be dumb.